Welcome to For Felliness, Belysning.
You are not broken. You are out of balance. And there is a path home. This is For Felliness, Belysning, from the Alaska ulfhednar, ancestral morning light for those who have been through hell and are still standing. This nonprofit has a sliding scale guidance at alaskaulfhednar.org/guidance. For Felliness, Belysning begins now. Every day, someone's little girl, daughter, sister, girlfriend, fiancé, wife, cousin, mother, auntie, grandmother, great-grandmother, elder, disappears, shattering a family, a community, the world. There is something we can all do. Remember them.
Good morning and happy Freya's Day to you. Today we talk about the power of Freya, but understanding it. I want to kind of put that in context of the stone and its form, and consider holding, not allowing ourselves to be swept away by the storm of today. We'll talk a little bit more about that as this morning progresses. As always, as we start this show, like we start every show, I want to say thank you. Thank you to all of you who have liked, followed, and subscribed. And for those of you who are in Anchorage, Alaska, no, January 8th, we're putting on a presentation at the BP Energy Center. It'll be from 5 to 7 p.m. Tickets are already on sale, so check out the event on our website, author.akaoutlaw.com/event. There you will find a link to the event itself where you can find tickets, and seating is limited, so be sure to reserve your seat early, and that way you've got that covered. And then we can see each other on January 8th. It's a Thursday, by the way. But as always, I also want to give a huge shout out to my friends and family at New Reality TV, newrealitytv.com, a streaming channel dedicated to the plethora of spiritual perspectives that kind of give us, hopefully, something that resonates within each of us and allows us to evolve into that better version of ourselves. So check them out as well, newrealitytv.com. Today's show brought to you by the aiper-pool-cleaners, the best in cleaning your pool, keeping it fresh and clean, and that way usable all year round. So do check them out, as well as many of our other affiliates of the show. You can check those all out by visiting our website, akumedia.akaoutlaw.com/sponsors. So do check those out. All right. And as always, before I get on with today, I want to say for those of you who may need an ear to bend, someone to communicate with and speak with, check out my website, where you can also arrange a meeting. We can meet online or in person and talk about that which is getting at you and maybe find you a path forward. So check that out here at the bottom of the page, akulfhednar.com/guidance. So check that out. Okay, so today we're talking about the stone, and we're talking about holding. A lot of us get swept away by the energy of today, whether it be that immediate rush of anger or frustration or whatever. we feel like we're swept up in it, and it just pulls us in and drags us in, when in fact we've allowed it. So we've maybe not per se allowed it as much as we didn't deny it. And we have that authority. We can control the energy within our mind. We have this thing called the me gate. It's what my ancestors called it when they explained it to me many years ago. And they've explained this me gate as something that we control. When all things are pointing to a particular thing, a particular feeling, a particular reaction, whatever, we have the ability to just say no, to just change our direction. And we can do that. Doesn't matter what's going on. Doesn't matter. Many of you say, well, how can this even be? Well, think about it for a minute. How many times have you done this unconsciously? Me thinking, it's a normal day, everything's okay. I mean, it's nothing fancy, but it's going along. And all of a sudden, you just decide, yeah, I'm not very happy. I'm either, I slip into this thing of depression, or I may slip into this thing of frustration, maybe. And many times we call it temptation, and we say, "Oh, I was tempted, and I got drunk." You allowed it. The energies came in, the influential energies came into our mind, and we allowed it. We left the me gate unmanned. But we have that ability. We have that power. One of the things that always, in my own personal life, my own personal experiences, that I deal with when trying to understand this whole idea of perspective, is I really kind of think about my father's passing. My father's passing, albeit he was not the nicest person when he was alive. After he left his physical form, and I talk about this frequently, but we went and we did the funeral in the morning, very somber, very sad, very depressing kind of event. And then in the afternoon or / evening, we celebrated his wake. Now, my father being an Irish Dane that he was, we celebrated good and proper Irish wake. Now, it's a matter of perspectives, and for those of you out there who are saying, "I'm Irish," wakes are not what you think they are, and yes, they are. All right. Don't fool yourself, and don't buy in on some of the rhetoric that's been cast around the internet. Irish wakes don't celebrate the same thing that funerals do. Okay? Funerals are somber and they're depressing and they're sad. Why? Because we are embracing the loss of a physical form. We won't have them to buddy around with, have coffee with, have those talks, right? In my case, my father left his physical form before I even met my shield maiden, and much less had his round of grandchildren. So he never met any of those. So yeah, I was kind of sad when it happened. I was sad for my physical form. But it was about me, not him. I wasn't going to have his company. I wasn't going to be able to have, throw the baseball with him and his grandson. I was not going to be able to do that. I was not. So a funeral is really about the individuals left behind. It's embracing this new path, this path of going on without that physical form. And so, rightfully so, it's rather depressing. However, as I mentioned, with his Irish ancestry, in the evening we celebrated a true Irish wake. Now, let's talk a little bit about what a wake is. Well, firstly, there is a lot of ceremony, and there's some stuff that gets done that's probably not as fun as you would expect it to be. But then the mood shifts, partially the way through an Irish wake. Um, the mood shifts, and it shifts from the loss of the physical form to the arrival of the spiritual entity in the spiritual realm. It embraces that and celebrates it. They made it home. So the wake, almost like I've seen lately. Matter of fact, I've attended a few, a celebration of life they call them, and a wonderful thing, because it too is celebrating the arrival at the spiritual realm, not the physical loss. Okay, so it's more about celebrating life and what these individuals brought to us during their physical lifetime, but then using that wisdom and that guidance and that knowledge to move forward, to be forecasting and using it almost as premonition to the future. This is really the perspective change of a singular event. Now, the event, obviously, very non ceremonial, and the spiritual entity has just simply terminated the bonds with a physical form. Okay? We've just broken that bond. We've moved on back to the spiritual realm. The people around us, around the physical form, are kind of looking at this going, well, what does this mean for me? It means to them that they now have access to the infinity of intellect. They can see and feel and know all that we send to them. They can receive energy that we're sending to them as we think about them in our thoughts. All intents and purposes, to them, nothing has really changed, right? They're still receiving energy. People are still thinking about them. They're still going on with their existence. They're just no longer doing it in a physical form. Well, it's something to seriously consider, is when we're thinking about every little aspect in our lives. We may get in the middle of a day, we may get this mood, this swing, and the mood says, hey, we need to be depressed. It's really sad. It's really depressing, whatever it is, right? We have that option. We can simply say, okay, it sounds good. Here we go. Or we say no. No. My children or my family or my friends, they deserve another version of me. They deserve another interactivity with me. I don't want to be depressed right now. I want to be happy. I want to be content. I want to be joyful. Whatever that is, I want to be that. I want to be loved. Okay? When we do that, a couple of things are going to happen. Firstly and foremost, our brain alters our receiving sensory input. It changes it. Why? Because we've adjusted the mood ring, and we're seeing things differently. And equally important is the chemistry that our body is creating becomes different. The way we're carrying the biochemistry created at the bottom of the well of the self, and we deliver it to the recipe card and then on into the horn of feeling. These things we're evaluating, but we're creating a different emotional state. Emotional state. Why? Because we already have chemistry that we've released purposefully into the bloodstream. That chemistry is then going to alter the biochemistry that we're making from the experience. So it's already there. And all we're going to do is now filter the energy, the biochemistry coming out of the well of the self. We're going to manipulate it differently as it makes its way to the horn of feeling, where it'll be reconverted back into energy. This is really the cornerstone for why we're in this physical form in the first place. We're here to figure out how to create the emotional states that we want, that we desire to understand, right? So we're creating biochemistry with this physical form. The DNA comes into play, the availability of different hormones and different parts of the chemistry, that the neurotransmitters, all of that is incredibly unique to each physical form. We're all different by design. We're all different, and that difference creates then a different chemistry, creates a different emotion, creates a different recognition of that emotional state that's then stored in memory, thereby altering our sensory input and continuing the cycle. That's what this is all about. It's about creating emotion. We can't do that in the spiritual realm. Why? Because we don't have this physical form. We can't create chemistry. We're simply electrons, neutrons, and protons circling each other, bound together to create this thing called a consciousness. And that consciousness is eternal. But what it doesn't have is this physical form to create the biochemistry necessary that the brain, or our construct, recognizes as an emotional state, right? Because then that emotional state stored in memory. Memory is then fed up through our imagination into the sensory input. Then the cycle begins all over again. So, super important that we recognize that. And that is really the understanding of the stone. We have that authority to become that stone, to hold where we are, where we want to be against the waves and winds of influence, which is all around us all the time. It's in every direction, all the time. All right. Today's opinion and I guess advice from the gods. When we talk about the runes, what we're talking about is a methodology at which the gods can communicate with us and understand that they they possess the power to really teach us who we are and our direction in life. So this morning's rune is Kanaz. Kanaz is probably one of my more favorite runes, and it is my more favorite rune because it represents new information. It represents that input of maybe a new perspective, a new understanding, a new way of looking at a particular situation within our lives. Kanaz is a very powerful rune in that it says that we're also open to that information, that we're willing to learn and we're willing to grow. So, Kanaz can also really represent transformation by converting the way we're looking at a particular situation or event or experience and altering it so that way when we process this, it means something different. So Kanaz is a very important rune. All right, I am getting the nod here. I need to take a real quick commercial break. When we come back, I want to kind of look at you, hopefully give you some ideas as to how we can apply the knowledge of recognizing Rhea and her interconnectivity between energies within the spiritual realm and certainly within the physical realm, and to manage that energy in such a way that we can become the stone. So we'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Precision when it matters. Raven Crossbows delivers accuracy and speed for serious shooters. See the lineup, sign the link in our description.
It's happening.
It's in the air. The time is now.
We're all waking up.
We're waking up!
We're all waking up.
It's all shifting.
New vibrations.
It's you.
It's you.
It's me. It's all of us.
Together.
A new time.
A new day.
A new energy.
A new energy.
New reality.
Awaken with us.
Awaken with us.
Awaken with us.
NewRealityTV.com.
Map the bright threads. Finding the Good is a community project collecting everyday wins, kindness, repair, courage. Join in it.
These words are stirring something heavy in you. You don't have to carry it alone. Sliding Scale Spiritual Guidance with sessions outside normal business hours is available through the Alaska Ulfhednar. Visit akulfhednar.org/guidance to book a free discovery session.
Welcome back, and thank you for taking that quick commercial break with us. As I want to remind you, today's show is brought to you by the aiper-pool-cleaners. Absolute necessity for those of you with particularly an outdoor pool, but certainly not the only one. Remember, I mean, the aipers, they're tireless, and they're going to keep that pool fresh and clean and ready for you when you are ready to jump in and get wet. All right. Today we're talking about the power of Rhea. We're talking about the energy and the management of those energies all around us, happening all the time, and how we can decide what works for us, what we want to be. Remember, we can be the stone within this equation. When we think about these influential energies, very much like being in a conversation, and the person whom you're having a conversation with, you simply don't care for their position on something, right? And so we just kind of nod off, right? We start thinking about, well, what do I need to preheat the oven? What do I need to do when I get home? Our brain is capable of just kind of, now granted, it is, I don't know that it would be proper, per se, to do this, but nonetheless, we know we do this. We do it in conversation all the time. Where people are saying what we don't believe, we have that potential, we have that ability to just disconnect it, to deny it, to push it away. Same thing should apply on things within your mind. If you find yourself getting inundated with influential energies that you don't want, you have the authority. You can control those thoughts just like we controlled that conversation. No different. We simply redirect our mind. We create a new perspective. One of the things that I'm always fairly proud of myself for is very early in my shamanic journey, and I would get called to go visit with individuals who are in the hospital or incarcerated, and I would have this trudgery about it. I would feel like, oh man, I don't want to do this and this, that, and the other thing. And it used to really bug me. And so I sat down and I contemplated it for a very long time. And it started to dawn on me, wait, why do I look at this as a trudgery? Why do I look at it as a punishment? It's not. It's a gift. It's a wonderful opportunity to help people, to be with people, to see, to actually physically watch healing and growth. I mean, it's an amazing, amazing experience. But I'm kind of stuck in this perspective of looking at this task that I was doing. And then it dawned on me. The reason that I had this thought process of trudgery was my perspective. I was looking at it as an inconvenience to my day. I had other things to do. Until I thought, this is my thing to do. This is what I want to do. This is the reason I do what I do. And I started to go to these events, these visiting with individuals within the hospital, and even visiting with individuals who were incarcerated and needed, wanted to have a different perspective. They wanted to be able to see freedom and being able to break out of that influential pressure and become who they really were. And so I changed my perspective. They were the greatest times. I enjoy it even to this day. I'm thrilled to go to these places and meet with these people and be with them and feel their energy and feel them draw from my energy to their healing process and to the hope that they'll have their freedom one day, whatever, and recognizing the ramifications of prior acts. So it became a gift, and I continue to enjoy and to be thrilled by it. So, but it was all about changing my perspective, changing the way I looked at the event. That completely changed it for me. So I hope that will help you as well. Looking at those things that we have to do in our lives, instead of looking at it as a trudgery, look at it as a gift. Another day of enjoying this existence. I mean, it's a wonderful gift. It truly is. All right, my friends. Today, Rhea's Day, as we get ready to celebrate or embrace the weekend, I hope that you will use this weekend, sometime this weekend, to kind of remember, change that direction of energy. put ourselves there in our third eye, if only for a few minutes, just to bring that energy back, to heal the body, to heal the mind, to heal the heart, to get ourselves ready for the following week, and the excitement and the opportunities of the experiences of next week. So recharge those batteries, rejuvenate the soul, and we will see you again Mani's Day as we begin a new arc of investigation and learning, loving, and opportunity. All right, my friends, I look forward to seeing you Monday, Mani's Day. But mark on your calendars, and if you haven't had a chance, please visit our website at author.akoutlaw.com. There you can click on the attend button up near the top, and you'll be able to check out our event that is occurring on January 8th here in Anchorage, Alaska at the BP Energy Center. Tickets are on sale now, and seating is limited, so be the first in line. So get out there, get your tickets, get your reservations, and if you register, there's an ebook that talks about the process and what we're going to talk about during that meeting. The ebook is worth it in of itself. So get out there, get registered, and we'll see you there as well. So enjoy your weekend, and we look forward to seeing you again on Mani's Day. Love and light, my friends.
Fulfilling us. Una. Hjälp oss med. Magnify. Tu för og. Kaliot.
If what we've touched today hits something raw for you, you don't have to carry it alone. We offer a sliding scale spiritual guidance with sessions outside normal business hours. Visit akulfhednar.org/guidance to book a free discovery session.